The Nokia 6 features a 5.5-inch IPS LCD display sporting a full HD resolution. It feels familiar on hand but at the same time exudes a certain appeal to it. What's a bit off with the phone is its top and bottom bezel, which is a bit thick for our liking. Below the display, a rectangular fingerprint scanner is in between the two backlit-enabled capacitive keys. Above is the earpiece, front sensors, and 8-megapixel selfie camera. There's also the classic Nokia logo on the top right corner. The entire sides of the Nokia 6 are made up of an aluminum frame with visible antenna bands. Both the volume rocker and power and lock button are on the right-hand side while the hybrid card tray is on the left. Up top is the 3.5mm headphone jack with a single antenna band extending on the opposite side of the port. The bottom end is familiar with the micro USB port at the center. The main microphone is placed just next to it with the loudspeaker also lined up. The back of the phone is reminiscent of an old Lumia, but this time it's made of pure metal. The main 16-megapixel camera is at the center with its dual-tone LED flash and laser autofocus. They protrude a little bit, making them prone to scratches. Meanwhile, the noise-cancelling microphone sits above the camera module. The overall quality of the Nokia 6 is not far from the Nokia we are accustomed to before, just like the fingerprint magnet back panel. We must admit, the phone is well built and handsome. With Nokia logo shining on its back, we'd put this on the table just to show the brand is still alive. The handset has a vibrant 5.5-inch IPS LCD with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 or simply Full HD. This translates to a crisp pixel density of 401 ppi. Colors are well saturated with a good amount of deep blacks and balanced whites. It has good sunlight legibility and has wide viewing angles. There's a stereo setup on board the Nokia 6. You get 2-channel speakers using the loudspeaker located at the bottom and the earpiece up front. It's a similar configuration with the iPhone 7 and it provides a better listening experience. You can get loud enough to enjoy a YouTube playback, but keep in mind that the bottom firing speaker is more powerful than the earpiece. No worries though, as it's not noticeable during playback. The latest Android 7.0 Nougat is running on the Nokia 6, but it's skinned with a blue theme. The default icons are also circular, just like with the Google Pixel. Overall, UI is clean and not as heavy as other Chinese launchers, but there's a small concern. The Nokia 6, for now, is meant for the Chinese market. Hence, the phone we were able to try out is a direct import from mainland China, and the software is tailored for the Chinese. You can set it in English, but there are still Mandarin apps included in the available App Store. There are no Google services or Google Play Store preloaded, and we're yet to find a way to sideload it to the handset. The phone is completely usable on its own, but you'll have to resort to third-party APK installers for now. The phone has a 16-megapixel rear camera equipped with face detection and laser autofocus systems. This enables the Nokia 6 to focus faster even in low-light scenarios. The front camera, on the other hand, has an 8-megapixel shooter for selfie. The camera launcher is straightforward with a few shortcuts on the sides for quick toggles like flash, HDR mode, and more. Captured details are good with minimal processing, may it be outdoors or indoors. White balance is spot on and dynamic range is well compensated in HDR mode. Shutter lag is present though when shooting in dim environments. As for the front camera, it takes amazingly sharp selfies that are more than enough to post online. Video recording is capped at 1080p as it doesn't have enough processing power to do 4K, but the 1080p capture is one of the best in its league. Quality is great with decent audio recording. There's also a slow-mo option at a lower resolution. We're glad the Nokia 6 shines in the camera department. It'll live up to the expectations of fans and enthusiasts alike. Inside the Nokia 6 is the lower-tier Snapdragon 430 octa-core processor with Adreno 505 graphics. The Snapdragon 430 is basically composed of 8 cores of ARM Cortex-A53 with a maximum clock speed of 1.4 GHz. The handset gets a generous amount of 4GB of RAM, which we only see in mid to upper class handsets. With Android 7.0 Nougat out of the box, this configuration ensures smooth overall performance. Switching apps is swift thanks to the generous memory, although gaming will not be its forte. We installed NBA 2K17 to test out its limits, and it can still be played in high settings, but it's a bit choppy. Lowering it down to medium settings will give it smoother frame rates suitable for long hours of gaming. The phone heats up a bit about after 15 minutes, but nothing to be concerned about. As for benchmark tests, it scored about the same with its colleagues in the Snapdragon 400 series. As with former Nokia handsets, call quality is good on the Nokia 6. The earpiece can get loud enough to be heard even in noisy surroundings. Also, the noise-cancelling microphone works well. Signal strength is also pretty good with reliable reception throughout Manila using a Globe SIM card. It can connect to 4G LTE networks of local telcos, although it has limited supported bands. It lacks support for 700 MHz band 28, so mobile data speeds are not as fast as it could be. It also has dual band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.1, and location services from GPS and GLONASS. Despite having a large body, the Nokia 6 only has a 3000 mAh battery. Not that it's not enough to last a day, but we hope for a higher capacity. Actually, our initial video loop test surprisingly lasted for almost 33 hours. With a more definite test using PCMark battery test, the phone lasted for 10 hours and 31 minutes. Still an impressive endurance score for its cell capacity. In the end, did the Nokia 6 live up to our expectations? Well, if not only for the China-specific ROM and expensive grey market price tag, it is a reputable candidate for those looking for a handsome Android device. We are impressed with the design and camera performance of the handset. Official local availability is later this year, so there's more to expect from the new Nokia mobile. The handset is sold in Lazada for 18,590 pesos as of right now. We expect the phone to become cheaper soon as stocks are limited for now. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for the official release for prices to normalize.